Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to Morning Word or welcome to Morning Word, whether this is your first time or you're returning. I'm Joshua Cummins, and we have a very special guest today.
Hello, I'm Sarah Metcalfe-Allen.
And how are you doing this morning, Sarah?
I actually feel rested for once.
That's good. Maybe this weather is since it's been so calm here the past couple of days. It kind of helped that along, maybe.
Yeah, and not having to go to work today.
Certainly, that always helps. All right, guys. Just a reminder that Morning Word is just one of many shows on Revolver Broadcasting. What is Revolver Broadcasting, you might ask? Well, it's an entire network of shows for your entertainment, for your education, for your news, for your pure joy. So if you haven't already, make sure that you're subscribed or following, depending upon the platform that you're viewing or listening on. But also make sure that you're going over and visiting our website, revolverbroadcasting.com. That website again is revolverbroadcasting.com. Once you get there, those who are viewing on video anyway, it'll look like this. Audio listeners, you're just missing out here. But go to the website anyhow, and you'll get to see, hopefully. But then you hover over where it says podcasts there on the website, and you'll get to see that all of our shows are right there in one place for you. And you can just click on any one of those, and it'll take you right into the list of episodes. Or you can scroll down the page and see the faces with the names of the shows. And maybe you like watching Freedom. It's going to take you right in there to the list of shows or the list of episodes right there, and you can view each and every one of them. And also, while you're on the website, you can visit our news chambers, where you'll see daily devotionals, a prayer list, news stories, and assertions. The daily devotionals written by our good friend Danny Tippett, who does the It Makes Sense podcast. Now, Danny Tippett's going to be returning with the It Makes Sense podcast very, very soon. And as a matter of fact, tonight at 6 p.m., I'm going to be interviewing Danny about his life. So if you guys want to tune into that and find out all things Danny Tippett and what he's working on, and the return of It Makes Sense podcast and some other really fancy stuff that he may be working on in the background, you guys need to tune into that interview tonight for with Hangout with Joshua Cummins. And I think it's going to be a good time. I think it's going to be a very interesting story to hear.
Woo.
And you can also, the prayer list. If you guys want to pray, like we have, like I've said many times before, we have 30 plus people a day that message me every single day to let me know that they've prayed. It's like a check-in. Prayed today. Went in and checked the prayer list. Prayed today. We got some prayer warriors out there. And if you guys want to get added to this prayer list, you need something prayed for, just go over to our any page on our webpage. Actually, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you can fill out the email form. Or if you're on the mobile version, you can just click on the little envelope icon at the bottom of your browser, and that'll take you into the email. And all those emails come to Sterling and I, and we'll get you on the list. If you have praise reports and you want to get off the list, you can do the same for that too. And yes, but please pray for all these folks on the prayer list by name. We really, really appreciate it. Love to have and add more and more prayer warriors. You can also visit our shop while you're on the website. You can shop like a hot shot. We have, the Christ is King collection, Revolver Broadcasting collection, Trump Vance collection, everybody's favorite Morning Word collection, of course. So if you click on any of these collections, it'll take you right in there, and you can see the hats and shirts and mugs and all the fancy things. And Easter's coming up, so Sterling reminded me of that yesterday. That it's getting pretty darn close, and so you guys might want to get the "He Is Risen" T-shirt. It's Jesus, and he's dunking a basketball, and he's risen, RIZZIN. So it's not just his charisma, Gen Z. No, it's also the fact that he is risen from the grave, and we love that. So make sure you guys are getting one of these T-shirts for your entire youth group, and I mean a T-shirt for each member of your youth group, not one for them all to share. Although I think it does come in 4X. So there's that. Anyhow, make sure you guys are liking this content. Make sure you guys are commenting on this content. Make sure that you're subscribed or following, as I said before, depending upon the platform you're viewing or listening on. And make sure that you guys are sharing this content, because sharing is what, Sarah?
Sharing is caring. What a magic. It's still magical.
Sterling's not there to put the kids back in the closet. He tells those kids that they have to get back in the closet. So they're gonna get loose today, I think. But that'll be fun. Yes, Presley, I see you. Presley is now taking over my hand that controls the mouse. So just a second, just a couple more pats, okay? All right, let me have my mouse. All right, because I got to switch Sarah and I so that she can take over because we are reading from Psalm 39 today.
Yep, I'm taking this over for Sterling. He had to work last night, so. All right, so let's see. His overview, Psalm 39, was likely written by King David during his reign, possibly during a period of personal crisis, illness, or following the sin with Bathsheba. Addressed to Jeduthun, a Levitical choir leader, it was composed for public worship in Jerusalem, focusing on the brevity of life and divine discipleship. Not discipleship, discipline. So, let's see here. Also says it could have been written during the plague that is mentioned in 2 Samuel 24. So,
Interesting.
And it's just a meditative lament on the fleeting nature of human life and a plea for forgiveness. So it serves as a reflection on mortality and a plea for God to remove the scourge or blow of divine discipline. All right. I'm really curious how this is going to look like, so let's get going. Verse 1. I said, I will take heed to my ways that I sin not with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with a bridle while the wicked is before me. That is with a bridle. Like if you have ever worked with horses or things like that, that hurts. If they do the wrong thing, that can really hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Say, I'm going to be very careful with what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's got it worded just ever so slightly different in ESV, but it's still same meaning. It's I said I will guard my ways that I may not sin with my tongue. I will guard my mouth with a muzzle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's even more so like I got to shut my mouth when I'm gonna say something wicked, basically. So
He
long
is
as the
taking
wicked.
it seriously.
Yeah.
All right, verse 2. I was dumb with silence. I held my peace, even from good, and my sorrow was stirred.
And
My
dumb meaning mute there.
Right.
Yeah.
My heart was hot within me while I was musing, the fire burned. Then spake I with my tongue. So he was quiet, and it sounds like he was thinking about something. And, my sorrow was stirred. So he has some sorrow going, and there's some heaviness, some heat, it says, in his heart. And then while it just keeps growing as he's thinking about it, then he speaks.
Yeah, it's almost like he was reading the book of James and it hadn't even existed for several
Yeah,
years.
He understood the concept of it. Just another proof the Bible is real.
The hyperlink before that ever even existed. Yeah.
Right. All right, let's see what he says. He says, Lord, make me to know mine end and the measure of my days, what it is, that I may know how frail I am. Okay. Behold, thou hast made my days as an handbreadth, and mine age is as nothing before thee. Verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity. Yep, all right. That description
really,
of the frailty of life, I definitely would agree with.
it's like it starts to delineate here. That was just verse 4, wasn't it?
4 and 5.
4 and 5. Yeah, so like it delineated here in ESV quite a bit. I mean, the words are same meaning, but it says, "Oh Lord, make me know my end and what is the measure of my days? It's the same. But
Mm-hmm.
let me know how fleeting I am. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It, I that added clarity even for me because I was like, I heard what was there, but behold, you have made my days few handbreadths, and my lifetime is as nothing before you.
Mm-hmm.
Surely all mankind stands as a mere breath.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, and other places where our life is called a vapor. So, same idea for sure. All right, let's see. Let's see if this keeps up. Verse 6. Surely every man walketh in a vain show. Surely they are disquieted in vain. He heapeth up riches and knoweth not who shall gather them. So he's still feeling the low part of it. Everything we do is vain. We work, but who's going to get it?
It touches back on the other psalm of like, there's no righteous man, no, not one,
Mm-hmm.
because we're all concerned about ourselves and not the Father.
Yeah. All right, verse 7. And now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in thee. Okay, so it's turning now. He tends to do that. He gets the low stuff, and then he starts looking forward again.
Yeah.
Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in thee. So he knows where to look.
I hear the song in my head, my hope is in you. That's what I
Yeah.
hear.
It might be based on this. Who knows?
I'm sure it is.
All right. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Make me not the reproach of the foolish. Okay. He wants to be better. He wants to do better. He doesn't want the foolish to be able to make him look bad because of what he's done or anything.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be he doesn't want to be the talk of the town of like, oh, look at this silly fool.
Yeah.
I want to say good morning real quick to Mr. John Goebel, who's watching this morning.
Whoop, whoop, hello.
Watching, and hopefully the recovery is still going pretty well. I went and seen him last night at the old hospital establishment, and good to
Yeah.
see him smiling and teasing the nurses and stuff. So,
Oh, excuse me. Good morning, everybody who's watching.
mm-hmm.
Cloudy day. Oh, I lost my place. Where am I? Verse 9.
9,
Ah.
yeah.
Okay, so he's going to repeat himself. I was dumb, I opened not my mouth, because thou didst it. That's definitely that KJV. Thou didst it.
Yeah, for it is what you have done it. Yeah.
So he's going to be quiet again.
So
Because God is working.
Yeah.
Just shut up and let God work. Shut up and let me do it.
Kind of reminds me of the be still, right? Yeah.
All right, verse 10. Remove thy stroke away from me. I am consumed by the blow of thine hand. All right, so he's talking about that discipline here. I'm consumed by it. It's hard. Yeah, discipline is hard. On both sides. The one being disciplined, obviously you feel that pain. And being the discipliner can also be hard. I've never enjoyed disciplining, especially my own child. So that's just a taste of what God does and how He feels.
But it's out of your love that you know you have to, and so you're like,
right.
And it hurt. I think it hurts more to be a discipliner.
I would say so. Yeah.
Because I was disciplined a lot. I was not a bad kid as far as coming up or whatever, but I had faced plenty of discipline over the years, and yeah, it's so much more difficult to be someone who disciplines than yeah, because you don't want to, but you have to because it's yeah.
It's most of the time it's for their protection.
Yeah, and for because you love them.
Yep.
Yeah. in some capacity.
Mm-hmm. But it can still hurt on our side, and he's asking for that. Okay, can you ease up a little bit now? I'm getting the message. Oh man. Verse 11, when thou with rebukes dost correct man for iniquity, thou makest his beauty to consume away like a moth. Surely every man is vanity. Oh, so he's going back to that again.
Mm-hmm.
When thou with rebukes dost correct man for iniquity. That is some KJV.
Yeah.
What does your ESV say?
Yeah, that was like I'm gaining clarity because I'm reading the ESV as you're reading it. But it says, "When you discipline a man with rebukes for sin, you consume like a moth what is dear to him. Surely all mankind is a mere breath."
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, they're laying on the discipline thick, of course, but it all gets uh, quickly done.
Yeah, because there's not much of us to begin with.
Yeah,
when it comes to God.
when you think about what a moth does, they put all the holes in clothes and things like that. So they're basically pointing out all the like, this is what you need to fix. Go ahead and fix that.
Mm-hmm.
What is dear to him? That's the part of it. It's like, oh, okay. That's and I've noticed, like, if I step out of line, God's like, okay, well, this is what's gonna be your stumbling block next because you set this up. I didn't set you set this up.
Right.
and he has to discipline us. And I know it hurts him.
He lets natural consequences come because there's always a consequence for your actions, good and bad.
Consequences, yeah. That's a good word for it.
And sometimes that turns into discipline. The consequence is discipline. Sometimes it's, like if you don't know how to swim and you jump into the pool, your consequences, you're going to be flailing or you could potentially drown.
Sometimes consequences are the best teacher. I unfortunately, that's how I had to learn to swim because I was tossed overboard. But
oh gosh,
yeah.
It was your choice to jump in when you did. Well, not yours, but for some people, it was your choice to jump in.
Yeah, but yeah, for a lot of people, it is their choice to jump in, and you're even speaking metaphorical there because just insert whatever you did here that you weren't sure of, and you did it anyway. Consequences came, and
yep, you're either going to flail, you're going to drown, or somebody's going to have to come rescue you.
Mm-hmm. And thankfully, we have Jesus. So it's what I got to go back to what your daughter wrote on the live chat the other day. Mm-hmm. She said the storm is beautiful when you have Jesus. I'm like, okay, we got Jesus. Yes, this is happening, but I got Jesus. Yes, this is happening, but I got Jesus. Oh, but what about this? Shouldn't you be worried about this? I could be, but I got Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to say that kind of thing, that Jesus is my rock of peace in the middle of this storm called life. All right, we got a couple more verses here. Let's see how he wraps this up. Verse 12, hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear unto my cry. Hold not thy peace at my tears, for I am a stranger with thee, and a sojourner as all my fathers were. Oh, spare me that I may recover strength before I go hence and be no more. Hello, Wolf.
This old Timmy Tim. I'll give some ESV on that because okay. Once again, I think may provide some clarity. I know it did for me.
Okay.
It says, hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear to my cry. Hold not your peace at my tears. So keep it coming. Like I need to, sounds like I need to learn my lesson. Just keep, I'm going to cry. I'm going to get upset. I'm going to have all these emotions, but you need to teach the lesson anyway. Sounds like, for I am a sojourner with you, a guest like all my fathers. So he once again, recognizing that he's like a vapor or all the other things, the breath, he's here for a little bit. Look away from me that I may smile again before I depart and am no more. So at some point, when I've hit the rock bottom, let me give me some pull the pressure off just a little bit so I can gather myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I see anyway.
No, I think I would agree with that. That, don't give up on me. Don't let me just cry for nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
It'd be in vain then, yeah, wouldn't it?
and the fact that he knows that, because in verse 7 he said, "What do I wait for? My hope is in thee." So he knows.
Good morning, CFAM. Yeah, it's interesting to me how people like to say, "Oh, David, he did this, he did this, he did this." List off all the bad things he did, and I'm like, yeah, but he had these honest conversations with God.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, and he didn't even always confess, but right away anyway. It took him a while sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, but
But he was still called a man after God's own heart.
yeah, and I believe that's because it always boiled down to every time something went down in his life, he always, always, always realized he needed to go back and talk to the Lord about it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it was all about woe is me, but it was being honest. You
Yeah.
know, was it the wrong approach? Yes, but it's also God wants to hear everything. So even when we're being selfish and little brats, he still wants to hear it, just like any parent would want to hear. We just witnessed our kid doing something that we didn't really approve of, but if they came to us and told us about it, we'd much prefer to hear from them.
Mm-hmm.
Then even after witnessing it, find out from somebody else that that's the first person that told us instead of our own child, or
Yeah. Even if I don't witness it, I don't want to hear it from somebody else. I would rather, I shouldn't say don't want to hear it, but I would rather hear it from my daughter
yeah,
herself.
directly, yeah. And I think that's why his relationship is so relatable for someone who's truly of faith, and they understand that sometimes I'm going to be a brat.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm going to be a little whiny, but if I take it to God, it's what He wants, and you know those actions will lead to things like this, where He recognizes, like, okay, this is what I have coming. I understand that I'm, and you're all of it, and so take it easy, but also do everything that you need to do. He's in what do you call it, reverence. He's giving reverence to the Lord here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I find it so interesting that he wrote this to be sung. Like, this is supposed to be a song of worship. Oh, I I don't know, that kind of dumbfounds me. Who wants to sing about we're vapor, we're being disciplined?
I mean, there's plenty of songs out there that says that we're, I was like a nothing, and you were everything, and so there's.
It has to come from, it just makes you think it has to come from that deeper
Mhm.
relationship and knowledge, because otherwise that's just depressing.
Yeah, yeah. It might as well be one of those grunge bands from the '90s singing it, right? We actually discussed that the other day, how there was some lyrics that reminded well, me and CFAM actually, of a song from Alice in Chains, because it was like it felt so hopeless, right?
Hmm.
But the difference was that what we were reading, like much like this scripture here, it turned around and it gives reverence to the Lord for all that discipline, suffering type of thing. Whereas in that song, it's they completely hope. There is no, not even
Yeah.
sure if they're going to heaven and things like that. So
Yeah. I think if you were to take out verse 7, the whole psalm would be different. if you took out the "and now Lord, what wait I for, my hope is in thee," if you took that out, the whole psalm would be different.
Yeah, then it becomes an Alice in Chains song.
So that's a short verse, but it's so key, so important, and it's right in the middle of it.
It might be the chorus.
Honestly, that would make a ton of sense because a lot of times choruses are repeated.
And I like I said, I keep thinking about that song. My hope is in you, and yeah, because in ESV it says, "And now, O Lord, what do I wait for? What do I wait? My hope is in you." So
Mhm.
that's what it's like. That sounds familiar. So yeah, that may have very well been in a chorus here. I know that there's I can't remember his name, but there was a fellow that actually went through the entirety of Psalms and actually put it to music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name, but
Who knows? That's what they used to sing all the time, were the psalms. Even before like the hymns, and definitely before contemporary.
yeah, yeah, where they just repeat the same thing over and over and
Sometimes.
yeah,
Not all of it is like
not
that.
all of it. Yeah,
Don't make fun of my music too much. Hey, and sometimes repeating is good because if it's repeated, it's important, right?
yeah. Sometimes.
Okay.
Maybe we would quickly recap this because
Yeah.
there's a little more depth here, I think, than maybe we have pulled out or extracted at this point.
Yeah. Sterling had pulled up um this other thing.
Okay.
So it says that Psalm 39 is often described as a Job like meditation on the brevity of life, the futility of earthly pursuits, and the struggle of silent suffering. And kind of see where it's getting at. He says that I was done with silence, and definitely talks about the brevity of life and everything's vain, earthly pursuits. Okay.
I could see that. I could see that parallel. Yeah. Because I mean, there is with Job, it was a little more woe is me because he wished he'd never been born and all that stuff. But and I'm going to lay in this dirt with the worms and let him eat me. Um, but yeah, this one's a little less drama, but the
That's, yeah.
sentiment's the same. Yeah.
It's a Job like quote.
Yeah. Yeah. I said, yeah, definitely a parallel, but not the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is it.
It talks about the struggle of silence. So there's the vow. David resolves to muzzle his mouth in the presence of the wicked. Yep, we talked about that.
Which is difficult. It's very difficult because you see evil and you're like, look,
Yeah.
at the evil things.
Yeah. But he was doing it to avoid sinning with his tongue or giving his enemies a reason to mock his faith.
Yeah.
So
It's just very easy to trip yourself up when you're pointing out. Yeah.
he's very tired. He had to work last night, Stefan. Thank you for asking. And then he come back to Psalm again. It says the breaking point, the forced silence. So David forcing the silence on himself only intensifies his inner anguish. Yeah, he said that it was hot within him until he was finally compelled to speak to God. Have you ever done that? Just thought about it, and then it's like, oh my gosh, why do I just keep thinking about it? God help me.
Yeah. Yep. Been there.
You would think that needs to be our first response, but sometimes we just let it build up in us.
We just reel. Yeah. That's what, that's kind of the story of my life, actually. Professional worry wart at your service. I think it's genetic. My mom does it too. Um, so thanks, Mom. No, I think we all have our ways of doing that, but yeah, there's just like what Sterling and I were discussing, last week. He just got into that mode where he was just like stuck in his head, and everything was just tougher and tougher and tougher.
Yeah.
And he kept looking further and further within instead of looking where he knew he needed to be looking. And then when he looked towards the Lord, it was like, boom, out of the darkness, right back into the light. And, he was able to function again. He's like, and I'm like, man, I can relate. I've done that so many times.
Yes.
Exact thing.
Yes. Same. So in our breakdown, it continues with the request. In verse 4, David asks God to remind him of his end and the measure of his days. This is a prayer for wisdom to grasp how fleeting and frail human existence is. Which brings him to the realization that human life is merely a handbreadth. It says it's the width of 4 fingers. So, 4 fingers.
Yeah.
And that every person, even at their best, is a mere breath or vapor. Hebrew word hevel. So then he falls into the futility. He observes that people bustle about in a vain show, heaping up riches without knowing who will ultimately inherit them. That talks about that so much. I was just reading, I think it's probably in Matthew, that you work and you work, but your things here are just going to corrupt. They're just going to fade away, where you should be working so that you can get things in heaven where it doesn't corrupt.
Yeah.
So
everything here, eventually it breaks down and becomes back to its earthly materials, back to dust or metals, or I don't know what plastic becomes. I know it takes forever for it to break down, but it does become something.
probably cancer.
Yeah, probably something completely useless. That's what it becomes. So yeah, don't be piling in the plastic, guys. It's not good for your health. I know that. And to answer your question, CFAM, my neck is there's slight improvements, but also it's still in pain. So I got my follow up on the 16th. So we'll see what hopefully PT will get me back square, because I was gonna go back out and do some deliveries and stuff today, and I decided to not doing that. Hurting a little bit too bad for that. So because I did some deliveries yesterday and I'm pretty sore today. And then Presley, he's still in good spirits. He's still wiggly as ever, but that spot on his golden retriever snout is it's unfortunately still present. And yeah, well, hopefully we get to that point where we can go get that surgery done and that takes care of it. I'm just going to keep praying for that and keep my mind set on that God's going to take care of it, and then he'll have many years of wiggling his doggy butt around this house
and breaking people's legs.
Yeah.
That tail, man.
Yeah, he likes to take Sarah's legs out
every time. Oh man. All right, jumping back into our breakdown.
Yeah.
Then there's a pivot. That verse 7, that's what it is, a pivot. David shifts from despair to trust. Famously declaring this says, "And now, Lord, what do I wait for? My hope is in you." And then he confesses. He asks for deliverance from his transgressions and relief from God's stroke. He recognizes his suffering as divine discipline that consumes a man's beauty like a moth eats cloth, which you were talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
It just eats away. And the final cry, he identifies himself as a sojourner or stranger on earth, just as his ancestors were. The psalm ends on a somber note, with David asking God to look away so he can find a moment of happiness or strength before he dies.
Yeah. It's like, please let me chill just a little bit.
Yeah.
I need to be able to go.
I think that was a good breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
Going through the different parts there. Excuse me.
I mean, I know that we've visited already, but I still can't get over like how big that pivot is too at verse 7.
Yeah, that's a hard turn.
Yeah, because it's just like it's all going nowhere, and we're all useless, and Then what am I waiting for? Oh yeah. My hope is in you.
Yep.
And man, I kind of want to lean into this a little bit. So I talked about it the other day, like how big God's mercy and grace is. Like he has this, so his mercy, uh, for people that don't really know what that word means, is when you could you could discipline, you totally deserved it. You didn't get the punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't face the consequences, so to speak.
Yeah.
He didn't just send his son to, it's not just that. Is that you can be forgiven if you just believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we deserve hell. We deserve to suffer our entire lives too.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have to face all those consequences because of what was done on the cross.
That's right.
And I think back on what this one pastor was saying that I was telling a story about the other day. Is like this. He was talking about Jonah and how he didn't want to go to Nineveh because they didn't deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, they do. I told you they did, so they do.
Right. Yeah. We are worthless. Our lives mean nothing except God says that we are worthy. He gives us meaning.
And when we think about that, it's like, what if they murdered? What if they did this? What if they did this? What if they did this atrocity? Yes, in our human minds, like and it's like, no, they should face firing squad and all. Yeah, well, that maybe that's how human law is always it's going to work that way.
Yeah. Maybe that is the consequence here on earth.
But hopefully, before they face those consequences, they come to their senses. They realize who Christ is, and guess what? No matter how many atrocities, if they truly believe and they truly repent, God's mercy is given to them too.
Yeah. I was literally just thinking about that. I don't why I was thinking about it. Who knows? Maybe it's a God thing. Probably a God thing. But I was thinking, what if the leader of North Korea became a Christian?
Yeah. Ooh, great comic book.
The turn and the shift. And in my head I was like, "Oh, he can't be forgiven. His things can't be forgiven." I'm like, "Oh, but that's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't be forgiven here on earth. He would definitely have to face some consequences, but God can forgive that. How big and how atrocious of things that he's done, God can forgive that. God's bigger than that.
Yeah.
And then what a miracle. I was like, if that were to happen, how many more would follow? Because what a miracle. That would definitely be a
That would
miracle.
be huge.
How many more people would follow Christ because of that kind of thing?
Yeah, miracle to say the least. Goosebumps, actually, just thinking about it. But it's not impossible, and
It's not.
that's his forgiveness, his mercy, his grace goes that far,
Yeah.
and it it almost wants to bring you to tears. But also, there's this part of you that's there's a little bit jealousy, or maybe a little
Yeah.
bit of anger that can rise up, just much like Jonah, right? Because
Mhm.
it's like, but I didn't do anything like they did.
Mhm.
Okay, but you're still a sinner.
Yeah.
No. And it's hard for us to get our heads wrapped around. That's why I always go back to Romans 3:23 because it's the equalizer.
Mhm.
So whether you're Kim Jong Un, all kinds of atrocities, right? Or you're Mother Teresa, who a lot of people regard as somebody who didn't do hardly any atrocities.
Mhm.
You know, that's doesn't matter. God's grace can go for either, and
Yeah.
that's
Well, I
hard.
mean, it talks about in one of the prophets that our righteousness are like dirty rags.
Mm-hmm.
So all the good that we can do on our own is still just gross dirty. Like,
It's selfish. It's selfish, and we get our rewards here on earth, right? Because
mm-hmm.
um, I talked about that before too. Where like my cousin and I for 3 years we did a homeless ministry, but if I'm being honest, there were times that I wasn't doing it for the Lord. Now, definitely the majority of the time it was for the Lord, and He led it because I didn't want to go out and I didn't want to do anything, and the Holy Spirit's like, you're going to go out and you're going to do this, but but there were times where it's it was vanity. It was yes, we're helping people, but it was the that for self.
Yeah.
Then it wasn't the right pursuit, and to use CFAM's words there in the chat. It's a hard issue.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to remember, just like David's saying in here, everybody's life. Another thing that equalizes us is everybody's life is so short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nobody escapes death.
Yeah, even Methuselah had to finally give his last breath, right?
Right? Over 900 years. Whew, I can't even imagine that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Imagine how many disappointments he had.
That's hard to think of 90 years, let alone 900.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I wouldn't want to. Nope. Nope. Not on this earth. Oh man, there's just far too many things that can let you down.
Yeah. Oh man, should we do a quick read through of the actual psalm again?
If you'd like.
Sure, I want to. I'm just going to read it straight through.
Okay.
I said, I will take heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with a bridle while the wicked is before me. I was dumb with silence. I held my peace even from good, and my sorrow was stirred. My heart was hot within me. While I was musing, the fire burned. Then spake I with my tongue, Lord, make me to know mine end, the measure of my days, what it is, that I may know how frail I am. Behold, thou hast made my days as an handbreadth, and mine age is as nothing before thee. Verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity. Surely every man walketh in a vain show. Surely they are disquieted in vain. He heapeth up riches, and knoweth not who shall gather them. And now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in thee. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Make me not the reproach of the foolish. I was dumb, I opened not my mouth, because thou didst it. Remove thy stroke away from me. I am consumed by the blow of thine hand. When thou with rebukes dost correct man for iniquity, thou makest his beauty to consume away like a moth. Surely every man is vanity. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear unto my cry. Hold not thy peace at my tears, for I am a stranger with thee and a sojourner, as all my fathers were. O spare me, that I may recover strength, before I go hence and be no more.
I started to hear, as you were reading it that way, I started to hear the melodic, the melody to it.
Yeah, there's definitely a cadence that can be found there, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you were. I think you were reading it just the way it. Yeah, just add the vocals to it, and yeah, you'd have it. Yeah, that's it's a good one today. May the Lord add His blessing to His reading of His precious and holy word. Now it's come the time that we're going to be doing a closing prayer for the free portion. So if you have any prayer requests or praise reports, just as Tim has placed his praise report there in the chat, please do that. So do so now. And of course, let me go ahead and read that since he's put it here. It says prayer update. They're looking for a place closer to the church community, and it's several new job openings. Prayers for wisdom. Can do. Can do. We can do that, Tim. Yeah, it's hard when you're looking for a job, and then there's all these different opportunities in front of you, and you're like, well, what do I pick? Just I think Sterling said it best in a prayer last week. He said, "Make all the other doors closed, Lord, and make the only one that I'm going to become clear, and that'd be the only door that opens." I think that's a very wise way to pray for it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sarah, would you like to do the prayer today?
Sure, I can. I don't have the list up, so it'll just be a overall kind of thing.
Well, as long as you'll see, Tim says that his daughter's surgery is still set for April. So
Okay. Okay, then. Well, let's pray then. Thank you, God, for another day. As short as our lives are, you give us each day, and you give us your mercy is new every morning, and your grace to us. Thank you. Thank you that we can cry out to you no matter what we're feeling. Thank you for listening. God, there are many requests. You know them, whether that is physical ailments, sickness, just strain on the body, questions about why it hurts. God, you know it all. You are the one who made us. You are the great physician. And I just ask that you would use that in the ones who are hurting, who are sick, and bring healing and strength to them. For those who are struggling mentally, God, again, you know, you see it. And sometimes we let it build up. And I just pray that we would each come to that hard realization, oh, my hope needs to be in you. And that we would turn to you and let you rescue us.
if I can put in a request for Mr. John Goebel, and hopefully he's able to get released today, go home and continue to get better.
Yes, yes, God. Thank you for the healing already happening there, and just continue it. I will continue in prayer for decisions that have to be made as we live our life, whether that comes to where we live, where we work, who we talk to. God, just give us your wisdom. You said that you will give us wisdom if we would just ask. And so we are asking for that to make the best choice that will help us to honor you and do your work, your good while we are here. Do you want to pray specifically for the surgery that is happening in April?
Yes,
Tim's daughter.
this has
So
been a long time coming. So this is a celebration to be able to get that happen.
yes, thank you for the appointment set, and now we, instead of just waiting, because the waiting can be so hard sometimes, God, and not knowing any answers or just, oh yes, that is hard. So thank you for making this happen. And God, just, I do want to pray for the leader of North Korea, the leader of Iran, for Russia, China, our leader. God, you place them there. Even these bad ones, there's a reason they're there. And God, I just ask that you would, in whatever way needs to happen for each of them, whether that is based on their religion, their surroundings, their upbringing, who knows? You know, that you would appear so strongly, so powerfully that they cannot deny you. and that they will turn to you and worship you, and this world could be changed so drastically. Yes, and you can do it. It's not a pipe dream. You are able to do that. And let your people rejoice in you, in your power, in your capability, and your goodness, and your favor. I thank you for your goodness and your favor and your grace and your mercy every day. Thank you for this time to be able to look at your word. Thank you for giving David the gift to write all these emotions out, because sometimes it's hard to say what you're trying to say. And so having someone else having already said it is so helpful. You knew that we needed this today. Thank you. It's in Jesus' wonderful, holy, precious name I pray. Amen.
Amen and amen. I want to thank you all for joining us for the free portion of Morning Word. Now, for those of you who are on other platforms that are not Rumble, we're going to be bidding you adieu for the day, and we will see you once again tomorrow around 9 a.m. Eastern. But for those of you who have a Rumble Premium subscription and or a subscription to Revolver Broadcasting, which is just $5 a month, it's not that bad. Most of us have. It's just that's a single cup of coffee in most places anymore. So you get an entire month of extra content. Yeah. So I don't know why you wouldn't go ahead and go over to Rumble and subscribe. We're going to be doing it's Testimonial Tuesday. We have a very special testimony to discuss in premium. So if you guys want to get over there and get your subscription, you'll have a 3-minute break here shortly. But just before we go into that 3-minute break, we usually do a little bit of signing off. So for the free portion, Sarah will tell you to
don't lose your hope. Sterling tells you to keep on keeping on.
And then I go through and tell you to stay in trouble. And I get questioned by that a lot. But the reason I say stay in trouble is because if you have Christ in your hearts, you will, in fact, be in trouble with the world. The world doesn't want you living under his grace. That's your salvation first and foremost. And I pray that each and every one of you has that. I really, really do. That you experience that mercy and that grace. The world doesn't want you reading his word, praying to him, having a relationship with him. Buddy, it has troubles with that. I'll tell you what, it really has. It sees it as dangerous. As a matter of fact, the world does not want you going out there and telling others about Jesus. But I want to encourage you today, as we talked about just before we went into prayer, and even during prayer, it can happen. Even the leader of North Korea can come to Jesus. So get out there, stay in trouble, follow Jesus. We love you guys, and we'll either see you in a few or see you tomorrow. Bye for
Bye for now.